So again, my name's Sean. Tonight we're just going to be covering the Magic tab on the Design Wizard. So we'll probably add a few more things on here by the end of it, but I felt like there's a good enough amount of kind of tools on here now that we could cover it. Hey Libby, hey Edward, hey Belinda. So tonight we're just going to run through all the features we have right now on the Magic tab. So have you guys used these features so far? A little bit. Which one are we using the most, you think? Stone outline. Yeah, the stone outlines or the stone knockouts. Those probably definitely save the most time. All right, so we'll go through each one tonight. So I'll show you not only how to use the tool, but maybe how to design with it too. So when you're actually designing, how it will help you when you're designing. At any point, if you guys have any questions, just let me know, and I can either answer those or go back and show you anything we missed. All right, so we'll just start at the top. So our first design is our contour punch out. So have you guys used the contour punch out, or do we know what it even is used for yet? All right, so I used it a little bit last week, and I think it was when we went over the different live templates and how to edit them and everything like that. So we used it a little bit there. But this tool is really going to be useful when we have when we're designing. We can use this tool, and we can use this tool on old live templates to easily kind of get them ready to cut. So when we're designing, let's just say I have the word baseball. Go ahead and go TRW. Actually, I'll have it up here, Stadium Font. Hey Sue, no problem, just getting started. And then what I can do is bring in a baseball. Everyone can see my screen all right, correct? Okay. Sandra, if it's still not showing up, just go ahead and sign in and back out and see if that fix the issue for us. All right, so with the contour punch out, what we're able to do now is, let's say we have our design just set up like this. We don't have any promo codes for the 5.0. So the one thing we don't discount ever is actually the software itself. So that will always be the same price. So up top here on our TRW toolbar, you'll have the contour tool. So up top, once we select contour, you'll have the different settings of your contour up here. So now what we're able to do is set this to the outside. Our next question is going to be how many steps. So we told it 1. Next is our distance or our offset around our text. So now you can already see that it's set to 0.11 right now. So I can control exactly how I want this to look. What type of contour and how large I want that to kind of show up around my design. So once I do that and it's all set up, I can just select my design, my contour, go to my Magic, contour punch out, and now what that does is just completely removes everything where I had my contour overlapping. So here you can see I have my contour, with my baseball, I just go ahead and select that, contour punch out. Oh, and it's going to do it around that. So let's go ahead and remove our background, contour punch out, and then again, it's going to crop right through the baseball. Yes, it's very similar to a back minus front. Now the big difference is if I have my text baseball here, and let's say instead of a contour, I come down here to my magic boundary and I set this to 0.05 and I hit contour and magic boundary. Just because I have this shape here now, this is not a contour. This is an actual an actual object around my design. So I can't just select that and hit contour punch out now because you have to have a shape with the contour. So if it's two objects and you have them just layered on top, it's not the same as a contour knockout. So you can see my error down here says, please select the shape with the contour. This yellow isn't a contour. It's just an outline to my already existing text. So you will have to add a contour. And then it will punch out the design around it. So it's essentially what it is doing, what someone asked if it's like a back minus front. Yeah, because what it's doing in one click is it's breaking off that contour to have your setup like this, and then it's selecting the baseball in the yellow and doing a back minus front to give us that same look. So it's somewhat doing a back minus front, but it's doing it all in a one-click button instead. So now with any of these old live templates, let's see, live template, I think volume 2 has a few. Let's see if there's a good example. Kids pack might be. Let's see if these, and this will show us if they're a boundary or not too. Yeah, these ones. So if we ungroup an object like this, and you can see how I have this trim around my design, if I select that and it doesn't upload or open up the settings to control your contour, then it's just a boundary around our design and not an actual contour. Hey Pillar, welcome. So does anyone have questions on the contour punch out? Yeah, so let's go back. Once this is actually knocked out, let me add a contour. So once we add the contour and you do the contour punch out, that white area would be the same color as your t-shirt. So that area through here is just going to be your t-shirt color now. All right. All right. So the next one is our stone outline. So this one's cool. Now, if you're designing, what this makes it really easy to do now, if you have any overlapping like clip art or anything like that, it makes it really easy to do the knockout look. Well, not actually the knockout look, but what it's going to do is knock out or clear the area around your clip art and then add a row of stones around that object. So let's go ahead and open up one of our live template packs. We'll go to live template volume 3 and we'll use our example down here, our pilots one just like this. So on an existing live templates that we already have, before with this design, we'd have to, we'd always still want to do our first, anytime we're editing a live template or creating a live template, we always want to edit the text first. So if we wanted to change the text, that would still be our first step. So we go to Braden River, let's just edit it real quick. So we'll do Lakewood Mustangs. We'll leave it at soccer. Now the next step with the live templates would be pretty much getting this ready to cut. Now anytime we have contours around our design, so our live 3-color live text will have 2 different contours, one being the white, one being the red. We still need to clear those out. So I still want to highlight this section and hit merge color 3-color live text, and now that part of my design is ready to go. Now what the stone outline is going to do is, now if I have an object like this or my soccer ball, I can one-click the stone outline. Let's go ahead and pick a different color than yellow so we can see a little bit better. Do an orange. So I'm going to do a stone outline. So all I'm doing, it doesn't matter what layer, because right now you can see how my soccer ball is behind. And even if I put it on the back layer, where it's behind everything now, that's okay, because the stone outline button, what it's going to do is automatically move that to the top layer, and then it's going to cut any object around it just enough to fit a layer of stones around that object. And what it also does too is, first it creates the boundary. That way the stones know not to go into the inside of our design. So instead of having, what this button saves us from doing is having our soccer ball, moving it to the front, creating a boundary around that, and then moving the boundary to the back, selecting the boundary and the soccer ball, moving those back to the front layer, then selecting the boundary, coming over here to our magic boundary tool and typing in 0.17, remove shapes behind. Let's make sure both of these are to the front. Had a couple layers it looked like. So let's move both of those to the front. Select the green, magic boundary. Oh, 0.17. Sorry. There we go. So now it's going to crop that around. Place and fill. One to the outside. Add stones. Auto. Island fill. And then clear the paths. And then get rid of our boundary. And now I have the same setup. So all those steps I just did with the new button, all I have to do is have my soccer ball. It doesn't matter what layer it's on. It can be in the back, it can be in the front, so you can see how it's behind everything now. You just click the stone outline, and it's going to clear the path around the stones, clear all the objects around it too, so there's no pieces that need to be cut out. So with the one-click button, it probably saves us about 10 steps with our stone outline button now. So right now, we do know, someone asked if you could just simply take the soccer ball and add a stone outline to it then. It's not going to work exactly like that right now. We are working on a way to possibly make like possibly a right click to have it like that, because it does still save you a little bit of time because you don't have to create the bound. Like if I just go to my place and fill and I do an outside add stones, auto, island fill, and I clear my path, you'll notice that it wants to fill the inside area of this soccer ball too. So what the stone outline does is creates a boundary around the design first and then does an island fill. So when you clear the path, it doesn't fill any of the inside of this. But right now, if you just simply take the soccer ball and go to the magic tab and do a stone outline, let's go to a new page because it might be recognizing other pieces on this layer. So this is what it's usually going to do if you don't have another object on that page. It's going to create this boundary around it first and then lay the stones. So the stone outline isn't exactly, right now it does need two different pieces on it. So if you had, a rectangle behind this or even front, it doesn't matter. Oh, just got to make sure you have the soccer ball selected. It will automatically remove right around or go right around the stones, like right up against it. But if I take this away, take the stones away, and then just do the stone outline, it's going to have some distance. That's the distance it needs to clear around it. So it's not going to give you the same setup. So if you're setting up a design now, you could easily, you could just write, let's use our text effects, make it really easy. So I'm just going to do apply. Put that out of there. Apply, and then one more. So we'll just make a quick design. And let's say Lakewood Mustangs soccer. Let's give the Mustangs a two-color look. So we're just going to add a boundary behind it. Have you guys ever seen this issue before where I just did 0.1 and it didn't cover the S? Sometimes that will happen when we work in Corel, where if I simply can just like pull out this side here, add the boundary, and then it works perfect. So if it does something like that, just change up the size a little bit. You can always move it right back, apply the same effect, and you'll see that it doesn't give us that issue anymore. So I can just add my artwork. Live template volume 3, soccer ball. And I could throw this up top here, down, wherever I want it to look, wherever I think it looks good. And then if I want to come back with stones at the end, now this can simply be a one-click stone outline. That takes a little bit too much out of it. Maybe a little bit down here. Maybe make it a little bit smaller. Something like that instead. But now with the one-click stone outline, it's just, any design we can essentially just add stones to in one click now. And any existing designs that have any clip art layer on it, so the first one the one I opened not too long ago with the kids, I saw that open now. That was one that we had a lot of people adding stones to before, where now it's just a simple one-click button. So we have a design here. Now again, we still want to clear any 3-color live text, anything like that first, anything with a contour. And then once we do that, we can easily just add a stone outline. And for this one, what we'd want to do, you can group this. So on the first one, they are ungrouped. Now, if I hit stone outline right here, it removes everything else in our design because of the layers. These layers are, the black piece is a solid piece behind it, and then everything else is layered on top. So with the stone outline, what it's thinking is all the pieces that are on top need to be cleared away. So when you click it, it just leaves you with your background color that you selected. So if you have a design like this that might have a couple layers to it, highlight, group, stone outline, and then it will leave you with all your layers. So any questions on the stone outline? All right. So the next one's going to be our stone knockout. So this is just like the knockout version on the edit tab, except this time we're going to add stones to our design. So has everyone created a knockout before just with our regular knockout tool? Okay, so there's a couple that haven't. So let me show you real quick just what the regular knockout will do, and then we'll show you again what the magic stone knockout's going to do. So knockouts are really easy now because I can just set it up with my text just like this. And then what I like to do with knockouts is move the spacing in just a little bit. All right, so what's a team name we want to use for our design? Anyone got a team name they want to use? Mascot or sport? All right, Raptors. Okay, I like that. Raptors what? All right, basketball. You can do that. So I have my design just like that. And let's move this text spacing in just a little bit more, just so it picks up a little bit more. With our Raptors, there's a lot of areas that are kind of open in it, so I'm just going to bring it in just a little bit more. The Eagle Crest Raptors. That's a long name, so we'll do Raptors. We'll do Raptors basketball. And we can have them highlighting like that or just a little bit underneath, whatever you guys like. Now, if I know I have this set up where I don't want to edit anything, I can go ahead and weld it, or I can, if I want to save this as a live text so I can easily type these out again, I can save it before I weld it. But when we're working with when we're working with the knockout, we do have to either weld these two together or group them so it's reading it as one object. Because with the knockout, you can only have two objects selected, or else it's not going to work. So let's go ahead and add artwork, and we might have not a raptor. I thought we had a dinosaur in here. Scroll through here and see if we have one. If not, I'll grab a basketball. Yeah, there we go. Don't know if that's how you spell it right, but we'll go ahead and use our raptor here. All right. So what our regular knockout's going to do is when you have two layers like this, you're going to highlight your design, click the knockout, and where our design is, it's going to, anywhere where it's layered on top of our text, it's going to show that design through it. So on the areas where it's not overlapping, the dinosaur won't show up. Now that's a left click using our knockout. If I do the same design and do a right click, even in the areas where there's not a letter, so you'll see this whole area through the P and the T now, the raptor will still show up. And you can still come through and change the text to whatever color we want. So all the knockout's going to do for us, and the raptor might be a little bit of a weird shape. It might not pull up the best through it, but we'll try it anyways. If not, we'll show it with the basketball too. We have our design here. We've got blue. So now, same design, magic tab, stone knockout. It's going to do the same thing with our design. Now, it's not going to work with the right click as of now. But what it's going to do is just do the same thing with our knockout, but this time add stones throughout our design too. So you can see I'll make all the stones black just so we can see them a little bit more. So it's automatically just going to add stones over our knockout for us. Now, it's going to show up a lot better with a smaller knockout. Like you're going to be able to see more of your dinosaur or your raptor because it has to clear out enough distance to add those stones. So that's why it might not show. This one's kind of hard because there's a huge open area between the P and the T here. So that makes it a little bit more difficult to see it. But let's say we have this design here. Let's see if we actually add like a basketball instead. That looks a little bit better. I mean, it's still going to have that open area for sure, but it'll probably be a little bit easier to see the basketball through here rather than a raptor. So those are grouped together or welded together. We have our basketball, stone knockout. So it's just going to add those stones right around it. We have our basketball, and then we have our text. Now, the one thing it's not going to do with the stones is clear any overlapping areas. So with this, it's a perfect circle, so we're not going to have to worry about any of that. But with our dinosaur, different shapes, you'll see little areas that might have overlapping stones. So we still want to select that design, mark our top stones red. It's going to show us all of our overlapping stones. So I'll just go through, delete. This one I'm just going to nudge. This one I can possibly just nudge a little bit. This one's a straight overlap. So if possible, it's going to show us any straight overlapping, but if we can just nudge it just a little like that, that's going to save us a lot of design time, or editing time too. But the straight overlaps we'll just simply delete. And now our design's done. So any questions on the stone knockout? Yeah, once you clean the stones up, it's ready to cut. So you can just highlight and separate, and it'll separate your basketball, your inside, and then your stones. So you always have to edit your stones just like we did on the last one where we marked them all red. But once you clean it up just like that, it'll be ready to cut. All right, so the next button is going to be our stone outline with contour. So this one is great. I think if you just kind of use it, almost like if you wanted to build your own kids design like this, it can make it pretty simple because all we'll have to do now, let's just say the number 4. You want to pick the font you want to use. So let's do the sport block for this one. Got our number 4. We size it. So right now I'm about 6 inches wide by 8 inches tall. Now we are going to add a stone outline to this plus another outline. So it's going to end up being a little bit wider. So if you need it to be like 8, or if you want your max to be 6 inches wide, then start this closer to 5.5 or a little bit more. So when I hit the stone outline with contour, it's going to give me a contour that's already separated, already ready to cut. I don't need to add anything else. My stones go perfect around my design, and then I have my inside color just like that. Now again, like the last design, any of the stone buttons will always want to mark any overlapping stones, because around the corners you'll see that you have because what we do is we use the corner detect. Around these corners it's going to overlap stones so it gets a better look. So we just need to mark all those red and just clear out any of our red stones. These ones are mostly straight overlaps, but there's a couple on the inside of the 4 that are probably just a little bit more of a nudge, like this one here and this one here. And then these ones I can just simply delete. Hey Jerry, welcome. All right, and then now that we have our text effect, 3 color live text, apply, bring that right down here. All right, so same thing with this S that we just talked about. If I just move this in a little bit, our issue's good. Add artwork. Kids Pack Volume 2. Let's see, let's do the batter. Add a boundary around him just to give us a nice two-color look. And then I can go ahead and edit my colors to make them stand out however I want. So now, what this button's going to make it really easy is just to create any design like this, especially, like the Live Kids Pack. We can easily add just an outline of rhinestones just like that. So we can set up a bunch of these kid designs or number designs. We just need to essentially find the number we like. So if we don't, this one's more of a sports one for maybe the kid or the boys, and then we could do the same one in a different font. So once you find the font you like, just size it. Stone outline with contour. Now again, we'll have to go through and maybe just edit a few stones. So we don't want to forget to do that. Kids Pack. Some mermaids here. And we can always change the font to these two. So you can have the same style or any font that we thought fit nicely. I'm changing the contour. Someone asked how I'm changing the contour in the Word. It's attached to the font. So if we just select both of them up top here, it'll have the font, and then I can just change it just like that together. Or if I even had a word like this and just want a nice stone with contour, I can easily add that to my design now. So almost what someone was asking earlier with this stone outline, remember how we had to have like two objects for it to work? So we had like the soccer ball and then we had the rectangle behind it. But the circle, you had to have two objects. Otherwise, if you only had the circle, it would put the stones too far out. Well, what you can actually do with the design here is if you did have an object like that, let's say we didn't want the actual outline around it, we just wanted a stone outline. Well, I can just do stone outline with contour. This contour is going to be a separate piece. I just hit delete, and then I just have my regular design with stones. So that would be a quick fix right now if you did need an object, or if you just wanted a stone design of the text. There you go. So yeah, a lot of these tools are kind of set up for one purpose, but you can actually, save a lot of time on little other setups too, where if you just want a quick outline with stones, or, this text in just a path fill essentially, or just an outside fill, instead of coming here to your place and fill, filling out all this information and hitting island, you just go to your magic tab, stone outline with contour, and 2 steps I can just delete whatever I don't want, and then I have my full rhinestone. Any questions on the stone outline with contour? So the last button, the font on the Nicole font was Baloo Bond. I don't even know how to say the next one, so I'm not going to try. But it's going to be right here. If you want to write that down. But yeah, it'll be in the recording too. So the last button is just our window decal. So a lot of, decals are a huge part of this industry, and it's really, we push it as like the type of designs or product where you really don't need that much to invest into. So as long as you have pretty much a plotter, you can create some type of decal, some sort of designing software too. So we wanted to have a quick button that just had everything set up. So that's all the window decal is going to be. It's just going to be a quick live template setup for a nice decal. So it's going to be set up for you. You'll just hit find text, team name here. If I want to adjust any of the numbers, I can. So let's say they're number 10. They play midfield or forward. Mascot would be the Mustangs. And now I have my design. And of course, I can move any of this around. And let's say I didn't need the number or position, I can delete those out with one click. Now, it's just a simple live template. So you can switch out the clip art. Just like that. So it's going to work the same as just any of the live templates, but it's just going to be right there for us. Just a one-click button, and then we can edit it just like that. So that was just, with the text effects, this isn't something that would be extremely difficult to make, but it is one of the most requested designs that we use and have. So we just wanted a quick button for it. But when you click it, any of the information on here or any part of it that you don't want, you just simply click and hit delete. And what I like to do with the number sometimes, instead of actually deleting the number, I'll keep the number, but I'll relocate it. So what I like to do is, if it's like on a soccer ball like this, I'll make the 23 a little bit smaller. And I'll make it white just so we can see it. But I just put it in the soccer ball like that instead. And then again, just come over, team name here, Rain River, Pirates. So we can adjust these however we want. We can, add the numbers in wherever we feel like it. But that's just, once you have it set up, you can move around any of the text. I could just have it set up as just one top up here and just put, soccer mom. All right. So that's pretty much it for the Magic tab as of now. Do you guys have any questions on any of the features that I didn't cover or anything I might have missed? Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming in tonight. Yes, I think that's most of the questions. Thank you guys. Thank you. So webinars coming this week. I'll have another one Wednesday night. Probably do a premium that night. Is there anything you guys had questions on or wanted to see more of with these webinars? And then tomorrow, I don't know if you guys saw that yet on our Facebook page, but we did move the giveaway. Usually it's been on most Wednesday nights. So right now, it's moved until Tuesday this week. So it's still same time, 9 p.m., but it's going to be tomorrow night instead. All right, so I'm still going to do my webinar Wednesday. So I might move it to a little bit later, maybe closer to 8 or 9 too, just so I know sometimes it's easier for the West Coast just to get on a little bit later. So since he's not doing one Wednesday night, I can probably push it to a little bit later too. The Magic Path button. Yeah, I think we just used that in one of the more recent webinars for the rhinestones. No, there's nothing. I don't think Matt's going live tonight. Did he put out something? The webinar on Wednesday, I'm not sure what it's going to be on. I'll have it listed by tomorrow. But with the Magic Path, it should just let us do a path fill. And then if I make that bigger, it will add stones for that object. Yeah, so he went live tonight with his Ask Matt earlier before the webinar. So he didn't interrupt ours. But yeah, so tonight it'll probably just end with my webinar, and then tomorrow at 9 he's going to go live with a couple new artwork packs, new font, and some giveaways. And then Wednesday we'll do another webinar, and then he'll probably do another one either Thursday or Friday as well. But yeah, if there's anything you guys want to see more of, just let us know. Send us emails. Let us know on Facebook. Let us know in these webinars. We're happy to cover any topic that we might not cover as much. How does the one-on-one training work online? So with one-on-one trainings online, we'll remotely access your computer through TeamViewer, and then we'll record the session, and that way we'll send you the video link. That way you can always go back and kind of recap what we went over. Matt is Wednesday during the day. No, Matt's not going to have. Oh, did he say he's going to do one Wednesday during the day too? Yeah, I talked to him earlier. I know I'm doing one Wednesday night, and he's doing the giveaway tomorrow. But I think he told me earlier Thursday or Friday he'll probably do one. But with Matt, things will change. So perfect. Wednesday will be a premium. I'm not sure what match will be. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much. Have a great night. Any additional questions, always give us a call at 941-755-1696 or shoot us an email at info@therhinestoneworld.com. And always remember to ask for Gabe.